This is to encourage you to do the work. This is to encourage you, if you're not in the strategy lab, to still do the work. Just still think about it. Can you answer those questions? Have you done your own spreadsheet? Have you looked at your own numbers? And remember, money paid is not the same as value received. Stop carrying both sides of the transaction.
Mentoring with Geraldine is a bite-sized practitioner podcast for naturopaths, nutritionists, herbalists, coaches, and practitioners. This podcast responds directly to the needs of you, the practicing natural therapist. We have interviews during the holiday season and business and mindset support each week, so you'll get the variety you need to enjoy and stay motivated in your practice. If you want to connect with me, always check the show notes because that's where you'll find the links to book appointments. Now, let's get started.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Mentoring with Geraldine and the Bite Size Podcast. How the devil are you? So this week is our Encourager Week, I like to call it, because there is the workbook and there is content in the Strategy Lab for those people that are in the Strategy Lab. Now, last week, I was talking about the money conversation. I was talking about the mindset behind the money conversation and the reframe that we need to take. So if you're in solo practice, you're a naturopath, nutritionist, herbalist, you'll know what it's like to sit in solo practice and then have those money mindset worries, be thinking about how can I talk to people? What are they saying to me? What are my thoughts about them? So this week is an encourager for everyone, whether you're in the Strategy Lab or out there in podcast land listening. So welcome back. And last episode, I said money paid is not the same as value received, that you don't need to carry both sides of the transaction. And that is really important. And that's what we're going to touch on today. The other thing I said within the Strategy Lab last week was that there was a 14-day pricing update campaign with email templates and scripts. And I thought that I'd written them and I hadn't. So then I went through and I have got them already in the Strat Lab. I've got old ones. So I had a look at those and I've updated them. So there are some new ones there. So there's another bonus for everyone because I said those words. And then when I saw on the transcript later that I'd said those words, I thought, hang on a minute, what was I thinking about? And I was thinking about, so I've got in there, they're on a Google Drive that you copy, and they are all of those emails that you send to people. You know, if somebody cancels, if somebody wants something, if you're replying to something. So all of those emails or templates are there. They're not your emails, they're templates that are there. They're emails that I have used over the years. So so there's another bonus for people in the Strat Lab, but today is for everyone. And so what I like to do for you, for everybody, and particularly the people who decided against joining the Strategy Lab and not looking through all the content that's in there, I want to give you 3 questions that you can think about when you're doing whatever it is you're doing right now. Because, what do I do when I'm listening to podcasts? I'm doing the dishes, I'm going for a walk, I might be driving the car, but I'm always doing something. And that's why I'm listening in my ears rather than sitting and reading a book or whatever, which I save for nighttime. So I've got you those 3 questions to think about in relation to your money mindset and what we talked about last week. So question number 1, where did you flinch on the price this week? So in Strat Lab, you've got a list of flinch options and ideas, but you out in the world, fine, you haven't got those ones. But where did you worry, or where did you flinch, or where did you, take a step back when it came to price this week? And that is price about you selling your services. Okay. And where did that decision land? Did you end up giving a discount? Did you end up making comment or cancelling or doing something? What was it that changed for you around that pricing? Now, in the Strat Lab, I guess actually this is a question for Strat Lab people because we've got the 3 money rules, or affordability, competence, and gratitude. And which one is you? So you might not understand that one if you're a public listener. Sorry, I didn't think about that when I wrote it. But what I did speak to you and to everyone about was your money, because we're coming into financial year's happened. You've got your numbers in. Are you looking at those numbers and going, how does this sit with me? How can I work things out? Yes, for the Strategy Lab members, I've got the spreadsheet in there for you. But for everybody else, you've got your numbers back, or you should have done your numbers for your end of year tax. So how did they come back for you? Is your business a loss leader for you? Are there parts of it that are a loss leader? I mean, I sit on the podcast and no one pays me on the podcast. I don't have adverts on here. I have thought about having adverts. I don't actually like listening to them myself, so I haven't got any. So, and now I've turned it into Strategy Lab. So I've compacted a number of my offerings, actually made my product better for the people in what used to be called the Academy. I've made it better for them and given them more content. So, I've double objectives really, and I've reduced my loss leader content. But in saying that, is a podcast a loss leader? Probably not, because you're listening. Those people who aren't participating in things are thinking about participating in it, or you're using the content that's live and free and using that content. And so I've still achieved one aim, and that is to give back to the profession. So in July, we've actually got a guest coming up, Kobe de Perez. So he will be on the cast in a couple of weeks for you guys as my guest, because as it turns out, July has 5 weeks, not 4. And of course, I do the longer podcast. I do the workbook for people in the Strategy Lab week 1, week 2. This week, I do the Encourager, where I ask you those questions. Where did you flinch? Where was your worry about money this week? What did you do about that flinch or worry? What behavior was enacted? Okay. And you get your question and any tips or tricks that might be out there to help you. Then we do it again. We have the second part on the same theme. July is money, but then we've got 5 weeks pretty much. And so we'll have Kobe, and Kobe runs a business. He started out in solo practice and then built a business in Sydney and in Bondi. So it's going to be really interesting to ask those questions and talk to him about taking those next steps and stepping up to what was available, or what is available for him that made him take those steps for him to move it on. Okay, this was just our quickie, wasn't it? This is to encourage you to do the work. This is to encourage you, if you're not in the Strategy Lab, to still do the work. Just still think about it. Can you answer those questions? Have you done your own spreadsheet? Have you looked at your own numbers? And remember, money paid is not the same as value received. Stop carrying both sides of the transaction. And don't forget as well that on the 20th, we've got a live day. We've got a full session day about the consult, about how the consult works. So come along to that. The link for that will be in the bottom. The link is on my link tree on my Instagram and Facebook and everywhere else. So come along to that, because it's a day that we're going to work together. And I'm looking forward to that. It's in school hours, so there will still be time for you to go and pick up the children. It's after the holidays, when you're settling back in to work and to your systems and everything that's happening. So I'm really looking forward to that. So I'm going to leave it there. I hope you have a brilliant rest of day, and I look forward to seeing you on the next cast when we're still talking around money, but it's the other side of it all. Okay. So the other side, they're going, what is that? I'm not going to tell you. You just have to turn up and find out. Actually, I can tell you if you really, really want. It is the impact conversation. That's what we're talking about. It's impact. Have a good one. And I look forward to catching up with you all on the next cast. See ya.
Thanks so much for joining me today. Don't forget to rate, review, and subscribe to the podcast for the weekly episodes. Bye for now.